Hi guys, decided to do a really quick video on Perlick 650 SS beer taps. So as you can see here we have the beer taps fully dismantled. They're usually sitting in my geyser here, but they have been now soaking for 2 days or so, just in plain water. So yeah, I'm going to get those back together and then show you step by step how to take them apart and obviously how to get them back together as well, like a really quick video. Stay there. Okay, we're back. So here we have the tap back in place, fully put together. So what you want to do first is obviously detach your beer line, then detach the beer line from the back side of the tap. That was easy. That's because I'm using these John Quest fast connectors. We'll get that off. So this is basically just quick connectors, and these are fairly reliable. I haven't had any leaks with these, so I can like really recommend these. So then take the nut off from the back side of the shank, like so. Get the tap off. Then let's continue. That is the plastic. This is basically for cosmetics. There's a special tool for this to tighten the shank to the faucet. But for me it works fine if I twist it just using my bare hands. So it comes off like so. There's no leak so far with this method. So this is the shank. There's two pieces, this collar and the inner part of it, and the shank. So this is just a tubing with kind of a hollow ending to match the side of the faucet. So let's continue. Remove the handle. I don't usually use this. I have different kind of handles, but it was easier to have the black one in place for this demonstration. Okay, those, let's put those aside. First let's take the lever off. This one, and the purpose of this part is it's a counterpart for the handle. So you will put the handle on a correct height, and then you can screw this against it. So that's the only thing why this is here. Then open this ring, it should be in hand tight. Put the lever or the faucet opener to the halfway, put that off, and then we have next this brass fitting, and the purpose of that is to keep this in line so it doesn't roll over to any direction. So that comes off just so, and then you can have this part off, and it comes when you just pull it. Obviously do it gently, but it will require some force. Okay, let's put it so that you can see at least a little bit. There's a big O-ring inside there. So with these Perlick taps, one thing to consider is that first of all, these are forward closing faucets. So the kind of the magic is happening here on the very forward part of the faucet. So that will go in there. So why so? Well, this is important because now all the beer is behind the closed faucet, and that will make sure that, well, let's put it this way, if the closure would be on the back side of the faucet, most likely you would have beer lying around here, which will eventually dry and make the beer faucet to stick, meaning it doesn't operate anymore properly. But now when you are closing from the forward part of the tap, it makes sure that all the beer is remaining on the back part of the faucet. That will kind of stay fresh and there's no problem with sticking. I haven't had a single case of sticking with this faucet type. Okay, let's continue. Now, because this is the 650 faucet, it has also the compensator. So the purpose of the compensator is to manage the flow of the beer if you have beer that is challenging on the foaming department, meaning that you will have excess foaming and thus you are experiencing difficulties to pour the pint. The other nice feature with this one is that when you are done drinking and serving, so the session has finished, you can close this. And then if somebody accidentally, like yourself, plop, opens the faucet, nothing will happen because the compensator is set to 0. Yeah. So on the back side there is this spear shaped part that will in fact be the first part of touching the beer when it flows from the shank. And you can see these kind of spear shaped things go nice together, like so, nicely. So yeah, and when you work with the compensator, it will push the spear out or push it in back. So this is how you control the flow. To get this dismantled, if you just open this here, it doesn't come out enough. So for that reason you need to take this knob off, and it might be tight, but in my case it comes off nicely. So if you need to use some sort of pliers to get that off, put some plastic tape or something so you are not scratching this. Now you can get this ring off, and then you will have the compensator lever, and there's 2 O-rings, and basically it doesn't come off just by using your own fingers. So put the lever back, tighten it up fully just to make sure that you don't break anything, and then just gently pull and a little bit wiggle it around, it comes out like so. So that's it. For cleaning you can take this part again apart. Yeah. So there we go. Let's see if I can see inside there. So this spear shaped thingy is now the only thing inside here, and you can have that out by using a screwdriver or similar object to kind of push it to the hole which was left by the compensator shaft. So let's do that. Like so. A little bit more, and here we go. So this is the magic part inside, and that hole is the hole for the compensator lever, like so. Okay, it is now fully dismantled except the O-rings. These faucets are like 1 year old or so, and I haven't had any issues with the O-rings, so for that reason I'm not going to do anything on them. In fact, in this O-ring I can see that there are some markings, probably left by the this one, probably these edges, or then the shank. It could be the shank as well. Anyway, there's no leaking or anything. Never had absolutely zero issues with this faucet. I don't clean these that often. I should do it like I don't know, weekly basis, monthly basis or so, but I don't have any off flavors in my beers, and whenever I dismantle these are almost spotless from inside. So it's rather expensive, but I think it's a good choice, and I trust that I can get from eBay or similar set of O-rings as replacement part when I need it. And in fact, while cleaning these, it's beneficial to have these small brushes, like to clean the shank. It's easy to do it with these small kind of paddle brushes, and a little bit bigger for the inside of the faucet. And so, yeah. Usually as a detergent I use the powdery brewery wash. I make a mild solution of this. You don't need to use as much as the label says, because that's quite heavy and mostly meant for professional use, so I use quite significantly less, and it provides perfect solution for me. Use that, rinse off with warm water enough times to make it clean from the detergent, and then just use a little bit of Star San to sanitize it. So yeah, let's put it back together. Let's start from the opposite side. Well, this is the way I do it. Firstly, start with the lever mechanism. Notice the shape of the lever. It's flat from the sides, so those needs to be on the sides. Push, it goes in one step, and push even more, and it will lock itself into the place. Then you need the copper bezel. Check the orientation so it fits kind of naturally. Push the lever to the central position and get that bezel there. Yeah, looks good. Then, sorry for that, twist this on. Hand tight is more than enough. Don't overdo it. It's better to have a little bit loose than a little bit too tight. You will just cock up the O-rings if you overdo it. Then get the handle counterpart. Yep, so. And then kind of the most trickier part. Check where you have the compensator lever hole. It's right there. Orientate that. So. And now, kind of to make things a little bit easier, I suggest that for momentarily you put this lever back onto the compensator. And now just try to orient that knob into the inner part. We need to push it a little bit, and voila, we have a success from first try. When you operate the lever, this spear thing goes back and forth. Yep, so that's that. Now get the lever off again. Tighten this up again, just gently, and put the lever back like so. Now looking good already. Then the shank. First of all, get this Bezel, or whatever you call this. Check the orientation so that the notch is the first part going into the shank, like so. Well, that doesn't go as easy as I thought. Then this tightening nut, and then place the shank inside the faucet gently, and then tighten it up. For me, using fair amount of force, just your bare hand, it's enough to get that secured in place. The handle. So handle is looking good now, so I'm going to counter tight it with this part, like so. Okay. So here we go. Compensator fully closed, meaning beer will not flow. Compensator fully open. Beer will flow with maximum speed. Test the operation of the faucet. It feels good. It's kind of a little bit too loose, so I will little bit tighten this nut. And now it's firm and solid. And there you go. The last bits and bobs, I'm sure that you're familiar. Put the plastic decorative bezel on, and then slide it to the geezer or whatever you have in, and then the backside nut. And you are again good to go. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope this might help you with working with your faucet, and also if you are planning to buy this one, it helps on that decision. Like earlier already stated, I give my full recommendation for this. It's an excellent piece of device. Thank you. And if any questions or comments, please put them down below. Thanks.